Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. I'm Keith Tebow. SRTA is looking for input on improving bus stops. With prices skyrocketing, why is Massachusetts not moving ahead with a suspension of the gas tax? Those with SNAP benefits can take advantage of free produce at 3 local farmers markets, and a fictional version of Fall River is the home base of a local author's first novel. All this and more coming up. The Southeastern Regional Transit Authority is looking to improve the experience of riders at bus stops across the city. SRTA held a listening session at the Fall River Bus Terminal on Tuesday, asking patrons their opinions on the number and appearance of bus stops to optimize the efficiency of the transit system.
We have over 1,000 stops in our system, and I'm sure if you've ridden the bus here in Fall River or driven around, you'll see that in some areas our stops are very close to each other, sometimes on every single block. And when you have the stops that close to each other, it ends up slowing the bus down, because you could drive down the block and now you got to stop or down the street, and you got to stop every block to let someone on or let someone off. So the idea here is that to find those areas where we might be able to take some of those stops out. So instead of having a stop at every corner, it's maybe every other corner, every third corner, something like that. So some of the things we're asking about is how important it is for people to be close to a bus stop. Is it really important that the stop is right in front of your house, or is it okay if it's maybe a quarter mile or 5 or 10 minute walk away? So we're asking about that. We're also asking what amenities people might like to see at a stop. So that would be a bus shelter, a bench to sit on, a better signage to provide some information about the route, the times, when the bus might be arriving, that kind of information. So yeah, we're asking about all these types of things that people that use the stops, it's important to them.
SRTA is hopeful that once changes are made to the number of bus stops, riders will experience shorter wait times while reaching their desired destinations sooner.
Throughout the summer, our consultant will be going through all of the routes, all of the stops, and running through a pretty interesting model that they've created, a computer model that will help provide some guidance on which stops to remove. And we've selected a whole bunch of criteria on stops to either keep them in the system permanently or to make them eligible for removal. So that'll be going through the summer. On a separate effort, we'll also be developing guidelines for stop design. So it's not enough just to say, this is a bus stop, but what actually should be included at a bus stop. We'll be working on that. And then we'll be back out in the fall to kind of roll out the plan. So we'll be able to provide some more specific answers on stops, exact stops that we're thinking of making changes to, and then also provide some more specific examples of the types of amenities we'd be including at the different stops in the system.
Riders will still have an opportunity to weigh in on the future of those local bus stops. SRTA will soon make an online survey available to riders. You'll be able to access that through SRTA's website, srtabus.com. SRTA also announced the introduction of its SRTA Bus Tracker app. Available on the Apple and Google App stores, the app is another tool for passengers to better plan their trips.
So when you're standing on the side of the road waiting at one of our bus stops, waiting for the bus to arrive, you can pull up the app and it'll tell you exactly where that bus is. You can see it on the map where the bus is located. And then it'll also give you an arrival time. So it'll tell you, within, the bus might be there in 5 minutes. And it'll tell you in the app 5 minutes to wait until the bus is arriving there. You can also go in and create a profile. And with that, it lets you set up alerts. So you can set up alerts for example, when the last bus of the day has started its trip, so if you're relying on that bus to get home to where you're going, you'll get a text message that it started its trip. You can get out to your stop.
The Commonwealth of Massachusetts is experiencing record amounts of tax and other revenue collections, but with prices at the gas pump at an all-time high and President Biden seeking gas tax relief, why won't the legislature pass a suspension of the gas tax to give motorists a break? On the latest edition of FRC Media's Voices from the Hill program, Fall River State Senator Michael Roderick says the reason for not suspending the gas tax comes down to who will benefit from it.
We're all experiencing this spike at the pump that's amazing. It's devastating. Why don't you lower the gas tax? Both the House and Senate voted overwhelmingly not to lower the gas tax for a reason. it will not help you as a consumer. Our gas tax is a wholesale applied excise tax. It is not a retail applied sales tax, meaning that the tax break will not go in your pocket. The tax break will go into the oil company's profit. Look next door at Connecticut. They suspended their gas tax, and guess what? Gas is no cheaper in Connecticut.
More expensive.
Tomorrow or today, Google oil company profits, and you'll see where the money is. Record-setting level on profits.
The senator does say a more meaningful package of tax relief will be on the table soon.
We are actively in negotiations on presenting to the House and to the Senate a package of tax relief that's going to put money in your pocket, into the working men and women of the Commonwealth's pocket, not the oil companies' pockets. So stay tuned. It'll be a fair, balanced package across the board, and we're excited to be able to provide this opportunity to share in some of the revenues that are coming into the Commonwealth right now. Not just, invest it as we have, I think, very, very responsibly, but to share it back to the taxpayers.
The farmers market season is underway in Fall River, and for the third year in a row, those receiving state assistance can take advantage of free fruits and vegetables. Mass in Motion Fall River is working with local farmers and social service agencies in hosting 3 farmers markets a week across the city from now until the end of October. The markets are being held each Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. outside St. Anne's Hospital, Wednesdays from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Health First Family Care Center, and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cardinal Medeiros Towers.
We keep them small so we can get into the locations that are in the community, and so then make it as available as possible. I just talked to one person here who just didn't even know the market was available. She was walking by, she saw what was going on, she came and asked about it, and she stopped and she bought some fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's excellent. That's what we want. The people that are living close to this area, that they may not have the ability to get to the supermarket as easily as others, and so we want to be there in the community for those people. It's such a win-win-win. You get an economic benefit, you get an environmental benefit because your food doesn't have to be transported from California. You get fresh Massachusetts grown strawberries, and you help the local economy because the money that you are paying for your fruits and vegetables is going to the farmer, who then also is keeping the open space growable and healthy for agriculture in our area, and not developed, and so that helps the environment as well, helps the economy, helps the environment, helps your own financial economics, and helps your you get the freshest fruits and vegetables possible because they were oftentimes picked that morning and then brought out to the market.
Anyone can purchase produce from the farmers markets. However, these 3 specifically are part of the state's Healthy Incentives Program, HIP, which allows those receiving Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits to, in essence, receive free fruit and vegetables.
When people have SNAP benefits, they just bring their SNAP EBT card to one of the farmers markets that accept HIP as payment, and they pick out their fruits and vegetables, they swipe their EBT card. The money that pays for the vegetables to the farmer, it comes off your SNAP benefits, and then it is put immediately back on. It's a reimbursement program, but it's immediate. So when the customer leaves, they can look at their receipt, and it shows that they maybe bought $10 worth of potatoes, and it took the $10 off, it put it right back on, and you end up with the same SNAP balance as you started with, and the potatoes. If you have 1 to 3 people in your SNAP household, you get an extra $40 every month to spend on these fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market with a certified HIP vendor. And if you have 4 to 6 people, then you have $60 every month to spend. And then if you have over 6 people or more, then you have $80 a month extra to spend. So it doesn't come off your regular SNAP balance, it's extra money, it doesn't get loaded on, it gets reimbursed as you use it.
Fall River saw another dip in its unemployment rate last month. The jobless rate in Fall River fell to 5.4% in May, down from 5.9% in April. Area communities also saw a decrease in unemployment, as did some of the other gateway cities within our region. The state unemployment rate for May also dropped to 3.9%. Here's an update now on the latest COVID infection numbers in Fall River based on a report released last Thursday, June 16th. 134 new cases of the virus were reported last week, up from 110 the week prior. Fall River now has 31,127 total cases of the pandemic since the onset in March of 2020. Vaccination rates, as has been the case for a while, remain flat. 71% of city residents having received at least one dose of the vaccine, 63% fully vaccinated, and only 28% of all city residents have received a COVID vaccine booster. The city is gearing up for another summer of music and activities each Wednesday during July and August as the Summer Evenings in the Park program returns. The events run from 5:30 to 8:30 each Wednesday, with music provided by the Narrows Center for the Arts.
Last year, what we tried to do is we tried to bring what the Narrows does every day right into the neighborhoods to the city of Fall River. We found that to be a really, really successful concept. We've done many events at the Narrows that are free, and we've always had a hard time attracting people from the neighborhoods of Fall River. So we thought last year, coming out of COVID, we wanted to come right into the neighborhoods and make a real difference, and we found these programs to be wildly successful. And this is kind of like a holistic event where people get to come from the neighborhoods, hear live music, participate in arts and crafts. We have CD Recreation provide some fabulous food, and we have a nonprofit that will partner with us each week that will provide a free bag of groceries for every family who comes. So it's a real feel-good event, and I think it makes people feel good. We want to treat people with respect, and we want to bring some high-end entertainment right into the neighborhoods.
The concert series begins July 6th at Griffin Park and will be duplicated with different musical acts across 8 parks in the city. Mayor Paul Coogan says the success of the program is made possible through generous community partners.
And you can't do anything without our next speaker from Bristol County Savings, the City of Fall River, the Narrows. This is a partnership to make Fall River a better place to live. We do these concerts in the summer. I was probably one of the ones in the front row telling Patrick this is a crazy idea also. I'll raise my hand. But again, I love being proven dead wrong. These things were exciting. They were vibrant, and there was a lot of activity. If you get to come to one, you'll see exactly what I mean between the spray art, the games, the food, the music. It's a great event. We have a whole series of them. We're going to hit 8 parks this summer as opposed to doubling up on the 4 we did last year. And we want people to come out to these things.
Just prior to those conferences taking place in a couple of weeks, the city will be hosting its annual 4th of July celebration on the waterfront.
The concert at the St. Cecilia's Orchestra or band will be playing down at the wall, patriotic music, and that's always well received. We have a great crowd for that. And then we'll transition up to the Heritage State Park, which will already be humming. We'll have both places going kind of simultaneously. We're going to have food trucks, a disc jockey, hopefully some other activities for the kids. But again, it's just a way to break up the time while we're waiting for the fireworks, the grand finale, and we'll say a prayer on the weather for that too, because if it's nice, we'll all get to participate, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Also on the week beginning July 4th, another long-standing tradition returns across the city as Greater Fall River Recreation hosts its summer lunch program.
The program is going to start July 5th through August 26th, every Monday through Friday. We'll be at 9 sites from 11 to 3, 7 parks. We also have 3 other sites that we're just providing lunches at from 11:45 to 1:45. The only thing that is different this year, it is not a grab and go. So individuals 18 and younger have to stay on site to eat their lunch. We always have sporting equipment. We have arts and crafts for the kids. We do some types of social emotional programs, activities with the children. We're pretty much there for them, and whatever they feel like doing, we will do with them. It's their time. We want them to have a fun time throughout the summer.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Director of Radiology. Primacare, located at 277 Pleasant Street, is looking for a full-time director of radiology, responsible for overseeing the radiology department, which includes its leadership, clinical, and operational personnel that perform clinical services and patient care. Job number 170-75892. Preschool teacher, Cadence Education, located at 1334 Fall River Avenue, seeks a full-time preschool teacher to work as part of the teaching team to encourage a positive learning environment for all children within the center. Job number 170-77299. Forklift operator, Whirlpool Corporation, located at 88 Current Road, is seeking a full-time forklift operator to provide material support in the sheet metal department by utilizing a forklift and a crane to move steel around. Job number 170-87448. Customer service representative, Family Dollar, located at 440 Stafford Road, is looking for full-time customer service representative. For more information, call 508-324-9466. Lifestream Incorporated, located at 1 Father de Valleys Boulevard, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Female Assistant House Manager, job number 170-77523. Direct Care Overnight Support Associate, job number 170-77473. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Fall River resident TJ Silva decided now is the time to write his first novel, and he's using a fictional version of Fall River as his backdrop. Silva says his love of writing was developed at a young age, but taking the steps to become an author was not an easy one.
Ever since I learned how to write in first grade, I fell in love with the craft immediately. Just writing stories, doing the creative writing, being able to read it out to the class and everything like that. It was something I always loved, seeing the class's reaction, seeing them laugh. Over the years, I would do my little side projects. I showed it to teachers. Teachers loved it and encouraged me to make a career out of it, but I just had a lot of anxiety about the whole thing, like fear of failing and everything like that. So it took a little bit to really get into it.
Silva's book is entitled The Moonlight Club, King's Chronicles, with a photo of the Braga Bridge adorning its cover, even though in the book the city is depicted differently.
Heavenside, Massachusetts is my fictional version of Fall River. And what it is, so Heavenside's a little more bad, if we can say, than Fall River. Like, it's a lot more drug-riddled and stuff like that. So I really didn't want to bring offense to the city because Fall River, it is a beautiful city. I love it here. So I didn't want anybody to get the wrong impression, so I figured, why not get the best of both worlds, make it based off Fall River, put some of the landmarks in it, put it like somehow how Fall River runs, and do it that way. Growing up with different people around the city, you see the different sides of each story. You see people who are dealing drugs, you see people who are hooked on drugs, and you see everything all around, just people's like different situations, people with mental illnesses, depression, anxiety. So all of that comes into play with this book. I'm kind of just telling a couple of people's stories and trying to shine light the best way I can on certain situations a lot of people might not know about.
The story of the Moonlight Club follows a trio of individuals facing life in a mid-sized, blue-collar industrial city. Silva says he has enough material to carry on the story.
The story mainly follows three main characters, Braden King, Analia Reed, and Giselle Carter, also known as JC. All three of them, their storylines connect in a way, but they all have three completely different storylines. One gets into selling drugs, one gets into other bad things, and another one deals with like her family like getting into drugs. So it's pretty much seeing their trials and tribulations, trying to grow up in a city like Heavenside, trying to do the right thing, getting conflicted with doing the wrong thing, and how the paths take them. It's going to be a series, maybe 3 or 4 books. I'm not sure yet about the last 2, but it's going to be pretty much following the rise of Braden King. You're going to see him going from this poor kid living in Heavenside who has to sell drugs in order to make it to being a really successful entrepreneur in the future. And you kind of see like the roller coaster ride it takes, how these things affect him, how being poor affects him, how being rich affects him, and just everything in between, all his trials and tribulations.
Silva is self-publishing the Moonlight Club, and for now, it's only available on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle editions. It's expected to be a hot weekend in Fall River, and the city is looking for your help in making it a bit cleaner by hosting a citywide cleanup Saturday beginning at 9 a.m.
So if someone wants to do a certain section, they can come here and we'll either give them a map of an area we're concerned about, or they have identified a spot of their own. We'll be glad to work with them. Just get out there, and if you don't come to the citywide cleanup and you want to do the block your house is on, or even clean in front of your own property, everything's a plus. I think the city has been, it seems to me, a little cleaner lately. I drive around a lot. The parks look good. A lot of the streets look clean. We've got our street sweepers going around. But those are the things that make a city received in a positive light, and we're going to keep slugging away at it all summer. We have a lot of them scheduled, and we're going to keep going.
This Saturday night, Free Drive-In Movies returns to Fall River with a screening of Encanto taking place at the Ray Street parking lot of the former BMC Durfee High School. Gates will open at 6:30 p.m. with the movie beginning at sundown. We will wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we got Miss Chloe here. She is our 22-week-old Great Dane. She came to us all the way from Puerto Rico. What we know about her so far is she's okay with dogs, unknown with cats so far, but home we'd ask that it's a fenced-in yard and you have your own. She's still a puppy, so she will grow even more than the size she is now. We don't really have a history with her with kids, so we'd probably ask that the kids be adults or 12 plus. Chloe, she's a very, very sweet girl. She'd be one of your, a new walking buddy. She tries to be a little lapdog sometimes. She loves to play. She's a little hard on the leash with walking, so a little leash training will go wonders. She knows some basics, like the sit, paw. She could use some other training with her, but if you really want to meet her, go ahead, fill out an app, and then come down to 300 Lidwin Street and meet Miss Chloe.
Today, we have James Bond. He doesn't really want to be held too much right now, so we're going to let him roam around on the floor. James Bond is 2 years old. He was a stray. He does like attention. He loves to be pet. He is very, very vocal. The minute you come in the morning, he sees you and he starts talking to you. He'd do good in just about any home. I'd say maybe a little bit older kids, maybe 5 and up, just where he doesn't like to be picked up too much and be held. But he does like the pets. He does like some attention. If you'd like to meet James Bond, come on down to 300 Linwood Street and meet him. He would love to meet you.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please check out our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. We leave you this week with a look back at the Kickoff to Summer event that was held at Ruggles Park last Saturday. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Thanks for watching.